Hold on now. Oh, yep, getting there. Almost got it. Oh yeah! 3 Wise Radio.
Just like, bet you can't stay dry-eyed from this. And I clicked it, and it was just that fucking kid from Homeward Bound, the old kid that's just like, Shadow, he's just too old. He couldn't make it. Like, first off, you didn't even know they were on an adventure. So, like, it was like, he couldn't make it. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And then he just shows up, and you're just like, oh, God. Yeah. And the whole time, he's like, oh, Stevie, I missed you, so I was so worried about you. He's like, the whole time this dog's worried about his human. Oh, God. It's so sad. Fuck that cat, though.
Sally Fields?
Sally Fields is fine, but the cat, what's her name?
Sassy.
Sassy. Yeah, she's a little pain.
Who is essentially Sally Fields.
I like Sally Fields, though. I want to talk about Hot Aunt May's.
She's the one that comes to mind.
Sally Fields is a good-looking lady for her age.
She is.
Back in the day,
even better.
It's not like there's been a bad string of Aunt May's.
There's only been 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I assume the old lady. Maybe she was lovely when she was younger. I don't know. Right?
I don't know.
She was good enough for Defoe.
Yeah. Hey, Lando. It's probably a ninja.
Fine.
Is it picking me up too much?
No, you're fine. I'm trying to get my mic now to where I can look at you guys and talk, because where it was, I would have to talk this way.
Right. That's probably a better bet.
Zach posted this into our D&D group with just no context the other day.
That's all you need. He's just so excited.
Terrifying.
It's Defoe.
I think that's from Speed 2. Welcome to 3 Wise Radio, a podcast where we talk about movies, comic books, TV, technology, the internet, and pretty much everything else media related. My name is Joe Greller. I am one of the 3 Wise guys. Joining me are the other 2 Wise guys, Garret Welker, and yes, I say his last name every time, Sam Pixley.
Yeah, you do. Is there a game tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's not on the records.
Makeup.
Oh. Okay, fine.
Boo.
This will be the last cast where we probably talk about living right next to Wrigley.
Yes.
Instead of living 20 feet north of it, we'll live like 100 feet south of it.
Right.
So distance ourselves a little bit.
Well, that's a little bit better if you ask me.
Oh, it's much better. It's much better.
So yeah, last podcast in the old studio right next to Wrigley Field. Next week we'll be podcasting from a brand new facility.
Classic 2-bedroom studio.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does it qualify as a studio apartment or no?
I was calling it a studio, like a sound studio that happens to have bedrooms.
I'm asking, I don't know what a studio apartment is.
Studio apartment does not have a bedroom.
Yeah, I thought studio apartments were just one.
It's just one room. If you're lucky, you'll get a half wall that's got like...
Can we not call them apartments? Like,
no.
Can we just say room?
Well, no, because there's a toilet. The toilet has to be sectioned off.
That's what makes it a studio apartment.
Yeah. A studio apartment does not have a bedroom, is what it is. It does not have a bedroom.
The bedroom is connected to... The living room is connected to the dining room. It's all one room.
Yeah, connected to the hip bone. Got it.
Perfect.
All right, well, first and foremost, on today's show, we're going to be talking about some box office flops because Ben Hur flopped at the box office this past week.
Could be on an upswing.
You never know.
No,
You're right.
Not.
But first and foremost, some headlines, starting off with some Blu-ray features on the Captain America Civil War Blu-ray.
Ooh.
I was about to say DVD, but that would be inaccurate.
On the disc.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really had on this was when I saw the trailer for it, I forgot this movie was a movie.
You forgot Civil War came out?
Yeah. It was like Civil War. And I was like, oh yeah. When did that come out? And I totally blanked that movie even happened.
In May, we went to go see it. We did a review on it.
I know that we saw it, and I know that we did a review on it. But until I saw the trailer for it, I had not given that movie a second thought.
That's fair.
Wow.
I don't know what that...
Did you
does that say more about me, or does that say more about the movie?
It says more about you. Because I think it says that how prominently of a DC fan you are.
I guess.
Did you see Suicide Squad yet the second time?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have not. I think I saw Civil War twice. No, I did see Civil War twice. And I saw Batman vs. Superman twice.
Well, I wait and see it a little later so that it gets those numbers.
Gotcha.
Towards the tail end, which it says is going to hit 700 million. But I mean, Civil War isn't a bad movie. I guess there's been so much buzz, albeit negative, about other movies that you kind of forget about Civil War. Which I'm excited for it to come out. I'm definitely going to get it.
So, what are the features? I didn't get to quite see it.
They're gonna have a making of the Black Panther feature type deal. The one that I find funny is they're gonna have a feature about what. It's a mini feature. It was done at Comic-Con about what Thor was up to.
Oh, that video's out. Did you not watch it?
No, I haven't watched
Oh, it's
it yet,
hilarious.
but that's on the Blu-ray as well.
It's just him being like lounging around in shorts and is like, I just wanted some time off. Wanted to live like a normal guy, so I moved in with Daryl here. And Daryl's just like a CT analyst, who just a guy. He's like, well, Daryl, you want to hang out later? No, got to go to work. What's work? What's that guy doing over there? Work. Oh, weird. And he's talking to like Bruce Banner, and he's not returning any of Thor's calls because he's calling by Raven, and like Daryl is teaching him how to send emails and stuff. He does have a really funny quip where he's like, "Dear Steve Rogers, Captain America, do you remember that one time where I convinced you to kill those guards and not tell the other Avengers? If there's any other secrets you want me to keep, let me know." Send that email. It's very funny. That was only a couple of the highlights of it, but it's like a 4-minute long video. It's pretty amusing.
Okay, good. Yeah, that'll be on there. And that's nice because they haven't really had like a one-shot. I know it's not really a one-shot, but they haven't had any funny things or noteworthy things on these features on these Blu-rays for a while.
Since like Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been pumping them out so much they don't got the money for it. I think that's what they said when they talked about it. They're like, it's just not worth it to add into people's contracts and to get all that stuff going. But this is like a funny 3-minute video that they probably did in a day.
Yeah.
On the set
2
of
days.
Ragnarok,
Yeah. So it's cool.
Well, if you're looking forward to that, that'll be out September 13th. Also in headlines, the first picture. This scared the hell out of me. I showed this to people. The first picture of Lumiere and Cogsworth
Oh, yeah.
in Beauty and the Beast, the live-action film. Okay,
It's creepy. It's
Cogsworth
creepy.
looks okay.
Creepy.
Lumiere looks like...
Cogsworth looks creepy. He looks like a fish monster.
I had that pulled up, and someone came in like during my job, walked by, and I was like, "Does this not look scary as hell?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "That's messed up because this is scary
It
as
looks
hell."
creepy. Yeah, you see those things on Facebook that's like, if Pokemon looked realistic. Like,
that's
like
what
a
I know.
Charmander just looks like a grotesque creature that's like shouldn't be alive, and if it is, you should kill it. That's what these things looked like, which makes me real creeped out to see what like the cupboard lady looks like and just all the other characters. I was turned off by that.
Yeah.
I saw that, and the article I read said that like that was them, and kind of like when they're trying to hide and like pose as regular items.
Okay.
Oh, and then
So
they'll
it,
emerge.
Like
so
when
it
she
might,
first
it might,
walked
they
in
might
and they
become
were
a bit more animated or something
I hope so.
whenever they're actually interacting. But
because I couldn't even see Lumiere's eyes or whatever. Like that
I could.
just
It's
looked-
like a very
okay.
It's almost like they're
tiny
wrapped
face.
around.
yeah.
okay.
So you think about it, I don't know why we hadn't thought about this before. This isn't going to be easy to do.
No.
It's like live action everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like Sausage Party where you can just put eyes and arms on things and be like, well, there you go. Because they didn't have that.
No.
It's bizarre. It's going to be weird.
But I mean, this is the last version of it to break new ground. I mean, you've done stage adaptations. You've done,
Sure.
you know,
But with stage, you get a little bit of leeway.
Beauty and the Beast. Now, I know it wasn't like, I know there was no like clock and candlestick in the Kirsten Krunz.
Words.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the
she's
Beast.
a New York City
City
cop.
cop, yeah.
Tough as nails.
But what about the Ron Perlman version? Was there? Because Ron Perlman was Beast in Beauty and the Beast, like live action TV series in the 90s.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Was there?
I don't have enough to tell you. I would guess not.
Okay.
Or like Ron Perlman would just like shout at a clock that was just inanimate and like, you better stay hidden, Cogsworth.
Look the same.
Except he did it in like that more Ron Perlman way with
Is that an early 90s Easter egg that like we see so much of today on TV?
probably.
All right. Also in headlines, Bryan Singer has confirmed FX's Legion is a part of of the Fox universe that is X-Men. So
Super
now it
neat.
is part of the movie universe.
Remember when it wasn't?
Right.
What are the chances it still isn't?
It can't be.
Sure, it can. They haven't confirmed that it's Xavier's kid.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's like, this is a guy.
I still
Makes
say
him way less
you
interesting.
could have included it, but the big thing would have been to do is to keep it under wraps, and maybe towards the end of the first season,
do something interesting.
like drop some hints where it's, oh wait, this is an X-Men thing, and then like 2 seasons later, drop some things like, oh, this is part of the movie universe. Like
We talked about this
yeah, I
like
know.
4 months ago, saying that would be really interesting if at the very end they're like, by the way, this is happening during
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Instead, you just got to force feed it down our throats, and I'm not for that. Yeah. That'll be how it will introduce them, I'm sure. Sam, I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah.
Because this has been your peaking before. And after you came out of your bedroom the other day and were like, that Guardians Russian movie.
Ooh, did you watch that trailer?
Yes.
Did anybody watch that trailer?
Okay, I watched it only because, like, after you finally talked about it, I kept seeing it everywhere.
Because it looks cool.
But the first time, like, I didn't see it. You're like, so this is a thing. But this time, like, after you mentioned it, like, yeah, it was everywhere.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's cool.
so cool.
It looks like a bunch of dudes were like, hey, we got $10 million lying around. Let's make a movie about superheroes. And they did that. It's probably even a bigger budget than that, I would guess. Like, it doesn't look great. Like, there is a half man, half bear that doesn't look awesome. But he looks good enough that I'll watch it. And it's like, it's your typical guy. Like, one guy has, like, time ability manipulations, and he has swords that by no means would be an effective sword. They're like,
Curve.
they make a circle, and then they can, like, break them apart, and they're two, like, half circles, which is totally ineffective. There's a man that turns into a half man, half bear. There's a lady that can, like, turn invisible and knows kung fu. And then there's a guy that looks like he can control the elements, specifically rock. And it's just, like, stopping somebody from taking over Russia. Another giant man taking over Russia.
When does it come out? When will you be able to see
I don't know. I
No
can't
one-
find that.
Okay.
I can't figure that out. Hopefully I'll be able to watch it with subtitles because I would love to watch that.
Is there a possibility that this movie never comes out? That this is just some sort of weird ploy and hoax?
No.
Okay.
Impossible. There is the great end scene is the military gives them uniforms, like these uniforms enhance your abilities. And Bear Man is like, where's my uniform? And then the next clip is him throwing a man in the air, whipping a chain gun out from behind him, going, "Argh!" and just a Bear Man shooting a chain gun.
What more do you need?
No, you're right.
Like, and that's how it ends. And you're like, yep,
That's it.
I'm on board. I'm totally on board. It's almost like if I ever played Command and Conquest Red Dawn.
Yeah.
It's like essentially like a super advanced faction of a military or like a subunit is like, fuck this, and decides to take over. Like, they have hyper advanced robotics and things that Russia can't handle, but the Guardians can. Maybe.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer.
All right, another headline. I didn't know this, and I'm glad you brought it to my attention. NBC originally wanted The Walking Dead to be a zombie crime procedural.
Yep. That's what the notes say from one of the producers. They're like, yeah, what if it's a couple of people just like solving zombie crimes?
So, iZombie?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not like the people are zombies. It's like it's either zombies killed this person or somebody let zombies into the building to kill this person.
That's awful.
Either way, you're just trying to find
Awful.
zombies and or the guy with a zombie leash. They also said that in the notes too, they had one about, do we need zombies? And it would just be like a world where a zombie apocalypse has happened and now they're trying to restore. I think this was a time where they knew Law and Order was kind of fleeting.
Right, but we've mentioned
Law
this on
and
the
Order
cast.
R.I.P.
Yeah, basically.
I just now figured that out. They coulda.
This is at a time where, and we've talked about this before, NBC and CBS love their procedurals.
Yes, they do.
That's all they have.
To their own hurting, or to their own, I'm trying to think of a way
That's why they are hurting.
It's actually, I can't think of the word.
Downfall.
Yeah.
It really is because they're holding on to those quote unquote safe numbers by doing it. The old people don't want to watch something that's more than a 2-parter. The old people grew up with Superman and Batman comics from DC in the 50s and 60s, where if a story went more than 3 issues, that was nuts.
Isn't that what you
doesn't
want?
Happen. No.
I thought you just wanted short stories and not everything has to tie into each other.
No, I want like one long overarching arc with like individual stories contained.
It's like Superman Doomsday?
No. All right, since I'm watching it, I'll basically come out and say I want like how Batman and
Buffy and Angel?
Yeah, I want how Batman was.
I think
done
they had
in
a
the
comic for
90s.
that. I think it was called Buffy and Angel.
They do, all right, but Batman and Superman were written like that in the 90s for a little bit, where each comic had its own story, but there were things playing in the part that were like a 3 or 4 issue arc, and then there was an even bigger arc behind it. So like when the big storyline does happen, like death of a family, like you have all this lead in and all this tension and all this build to where it's not, oh, the Joker cut off his face, 10 months ago, here he is again.
That's weird.
He's got a new face.
Now he does.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Did you want to do this story in headlines?
What?
Or I have not gone on Twitter.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I didn't know if this was a headline or a peeking or what.
Have you looked at Twitter at all today? Did anybody look at Ben Affleck's Twitter?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't look at Ben Affleck's Twitter.
I was actually going to
I
message
looked on
you
his
guys about
Instagram. Are you talking about his video?
Yes.
What is that? I mean, it's obviously Deathstroke.
That's
But is
looking
that-
like Justice League. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
It looks so good.
That looks dope. Yeah.
It looks so good to the point where I was like, is this like an Injustice
If
trailer or
Deathstroke
something?
is his opponent in because they need somebody for Batman to fight in this, and if I can get Batman Deathstroke fight, yeah. Because Batman vs. Deathstroke in Arkham Origins was one of the best parts of that game, and he looks straight out of Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
I'm on board for that, and so unexpected too.
I need it. I want it. Of course.
I guess it does show that I'm a DC fanboy because I see 10 seconds of Deathstroke walking out of a plane, and I'm like, fuck that Thor video. This is what's good. Yeah. I was so excited.
Who do we have? Who's playing him? Do we know?
The theory is still what's his name from True Blood, Joe Manganiello,
Joe Manganiello,
the big werewolf guy.
Flash Thompson. He was.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think he's past the
Progressed
point
that.
where they can call him where he's
Shirtless
that guy.
dude in Magic Mike.
That doesn't narrow it down at all.
I know.
It's like if you were like Ron Howard. Oh, you mean Opie from that show? Yeah, I mean, yes, but other stuff. Most importantly, Bryce Dallas Howard's dad, because she's lovely.
He's talking about Anthony Howard now.
Oh.
No, Ron Howard.
Or Ron Howard, sorry.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know
The
that.
red hair.
You're right. I should just assume every female in Hollywood with red hair is the offspring of Ron Howard.
You know what? Then good for Ron Howard, because that's some good genes. Christina Hendricks, Bryce Dallas Howard, Jessica Chastain. I think that's it. But 3 for 3.
They're taking the Hobbits to Three Wise Radio!
But as I said at the beginning of the cast, Ben Hur debuted this week to the sound of $11 million domestically,
Cha-ching.
making it a possible $100 million or at least $60 million loss to, I think, Universal is who put that bad boy out. And it's just the long line. I'm sorry, that's the last in a long line of box office quote-unquote flops from the past, 2-3 years that have all been heavily invested in movies. And usually when you hear of a box office flop, it's around $100 million. Like, you don't hear about the studio took that $5 million hit on this one film. It's always the big ones, like Ghostbusters, apparently a box office flop.
But isn't this kind of the thing, though? Like, Ben Hur was something that I remember you saying, like, yeah, I'd like to see it, but you didn't.
No, you're right.
Well, I guess also my argument
Part
is
of it
going to be
is-
that this isn't part of a well-known, like, movie universe. Like, it's not a trilogy or it's not part of
No,
something. But it's a remake.
it is an
so it
exact
technically
remake.
doesn't cost it there, but it is still, like, a property that's not a part of some big picture thing, and people don't see those, really. It's tough.
Yeah, having grossed so far just $41 million worldwide against a $100 million budget. So, which really means the film has to gross $200 million
Right.
to break even. Now, let's break that down for a second for people that don't really know box office money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Right. You want me to do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, when you have $100 million, first off,
How do I get that money?
That's your production budget. Well, that's the studio or other producers have normally invested money into your film.
I was talking about personally.
Oh, you can't, personally. Once you have that money and you go make your film, then there's usually another set amount of money for advertising. Now, advertising I think Ben Hur was maybe like 20 million or something. It wasn't a lot.
That's
compared to,
usually
like,
the hidden number, isn't it?
Yeah.
Production numbers they put out, but the
advertising
numbers
they
are
don't.
always speculated.
Now, when you go and spend your $20 a ticket, yes, I rounded up, but let's be fair. It seems like it's
tickets
where they're
go up.
headed.
I've spent $20 for a ticket, yeah.
When you go and spend your $20 per ticket, 10 of that goes to the movie, 10 of it goes to, or is supposed to, go to the theater.
I will have a bigger breakdown for that coming up. It's very interesting.
Yes. But, so the theater sees some of that money, the movie sees some of that money, which is why the industry thinks that you must double your production budget to break even. So if you had a
Okay.
so if you had a $32 million production budget, you need to gross $64 million worldwide, not just domestically, but worldwide, to break even on that. So that's why Deadpool was raised as such a hit this past year, because that was a $60 million movie that grossed $336 million worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
More than doubled it, more than tripled, quadrupled its
It made way more money than that.
production budget. No, it was like $336 million. I don't think it did very well. Or maybe I'm just thinking domestically.
I think you're thinking it made like
Okay.
a ton
But
of
even
money.
still,
Right.
Yeah. It's like when you have, and that's what's so different about it, is that you have these small, you forget that there are small budget films like, what's the new horror movie, Don't Breathe,
Yes.
has already doubled.
Yeah, it's already made back its money.
It was cost $10 million to do. That's also why horror movies are so popular, because they're super cheap.
yeah.
Super cheap. You make back your profits super easily. That's how you wonder, like, oh, how are we making another The Conjuring? Like, wasn't the last one not good? Even if it's not good, you can see an influx. I mean, I think it was good. I don't know. I didn't see it, but
You're right. Deadpool, $782 million.
yeah, dude, it
total.
made bank. But that's why those are so easy, because even after the first 2 weeks, they're already greenlighting another one because they made so much money.
Yeah.
And you hire like a new cast, and I mean, honestly, not a lot of top name actors do horror movies, so usually the acting fees come pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. Which, as of late, has kind of become one of the bigger budgeting issues.
Well, we talked about this off air one time. What is it? Not Ghost House.
Ghost House.
It might be Ghost House. There's a production studio that's only been around for about 2 or 3 years. It just did the Jennifer Lopez Boy Next Door movie last year. It's done, not The Conjuring, but it does another one of the ones that have been coming out lately or whatever. And it's about this guy who just sits around and kind of makes movies for $5 million, $6 million, and then every once in a while we'll go to a $10 million budget. And yeah, he'll have like 5 or 6 films that don't recoup the cost of even like a $2 million
Oh, I do
movie.
remember this, but then there's one that does really well, and it pays for all of it.
It pays for all of it and then some. And like that's their motto. And this is a thing that goes back to the 80s with Canon Films. And they used to put out like the old action movies of like Chuck Norris and some Bronson, I can't think, but the Death Wish movies and things like that.
Yeah.
And then they got a little bit too big for their britches and tried to put out they got the rights to Superman, put out Superman 4, put out Over the Top, and all of a sudden it was
We're in the
they
big
put out
leagues.
He-Man, and all of a sudden they blew their money and like they never recouped because these movies were flops as well.
Too big of a hit.
So it's a smart business investment. You can do it by little things here and there.
Oh, yeah. So I thought it was also interesting to look in a movie theater, because everybody complains about how expensive movies are, and when you kind of look at it, it's just interesting. You actually can't. You almost have to look at the theater industry and the like production industry that actually makes the movies as one unit. Because the reason that movie theater tickets are so high is because production costs are so high for movies, so they have to take a bigger percentage of the cut of movies that they sell the tickets to help pay for them. So it's almost like a trickle-down effect, but in the exact opposite of the way that the trickle-down effect is supposed to work. Mm-hmm. It actually, like, debt trickles down, and so then you end up spending more. But I just wanted to do a little research into how expensive things are and what it actually costs companies. And when I did my research, I found that actually in the first week of a movie's release, the movie theaters see roughly 20%.
That's it.
Of sales.
Damn.
Even saying that some markets were reporting that for movies like the one that I found was Attack of the Clones, they took 95 to 100% for the first weekend.
What?
I mean, you think about it though, the Avengers could do that. If a movie's big enough, like Star Wars, it was the thing where like they were flexing muscle and like, hey, you're showing this in all IMAXs or you're not getting it. Or like you're showing it in all theaters or we're not giving it to you. Like they can flex that muscle because you're going to be the movie theater that's not showing Star Wars.
Yeah.
No one's coming to your theater.
No.
So I just thought that's interesting. And then as it goes down, like the second week, it's roughly 40-50%, and then it's not until the third week that it gets to you see 80%, 70%, 90% of the profits. So it's interesting. Like if you want to help your theater, you actually see a movie later than when you want to. And it's the same principle. I don't know if this is true for gas stations, but I think it is, that they make the majority of their money off of like food sales. Like that's why 20 cents of popcorn costs $6.
That's why also a difference between a small and a large drink is less than $1.
Because it doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's actually
And you
why
get the free
what I found was
refills.
funny when I was doing a lot of research is that almost everybody that owns a movie theater terms themselves as working. Oh, I work in the candy business. I'm in the concession business. Because if the concessions weren't there, every person that I looked at was like, we wouldn't be open. We could not be open. So
I mean, when I worked in a movie theater, that's all it was. It was push the beer, push the popcorn, push.
that's
The
where
food.
your profits are, because you're getting like a 95% profit margin as opposed to 30.
I mean, Sex in the City was when I worked at a movie theater.
Cosmos.
Sex in the City 2 was out, and it was one of our biggest things because we made so much money off women in their 50s getting Cosmopolitans at 10 a.m. to go see this movie on like a Wednesday.
I did a little digging, and there was actually an interesting thing that I said that a theater owner has to weigh the benefits of certain cost reduction strategies. Concession companies, for example, may offer $25,000 to $50,000 to build a new screen for the theater, but the theater will have to contract with them for several years and split profits on snacks. So like take a reduced hit on snacks for a few years for a new screen. So it's interesting how like everything is mixed and matched together. And it also kind of asks, you complain about not like how expensive movie theater tickets are. I only complain about them when I'm seeing a movie I'm not super excited for. Like if I'm seeing Avengers or something like that, I won't be like, $18 for a IMAX ticket, boo. It's when I see like Sausage Party at 4:00 on a Sunday and it's still like $15. So it's interesting to see like how do you fix that?
Right.
Because it's not the theater's fault. It's also not really the production company's fault. I mean, it is a little bit because they keep having to pay these people more and more money to like make a profit, but it's like it's got multiple heads, so there's nowhere to really like try and cut off the head, and that's going to make everything
Right.
else
Now,
work.
now let's break these down. I have a list of the biggest box office flops of all time, and you'll notice something about it. However, all these biggest box office flops don't hold the one record you think it would hold, and that's lowest grossing opening weekend for a major nationwide release. Do you know what that movie is that holds that? It came out within the last year, almost a year ago, almost an exact year ago. It holds the record for the lowest box office opening for a nationwide release.
I don't think we talked about this on air.
We
but
didn't.
I
We weren't doing the
remember-
cast at this time, but we did
I
talk
remember we
about this.
talked about it.
I don't know.
It's like an action movie, isn't it?
No.
It's a comedy, drama, romance.
Rom-com, kind of.
Is it like one of those crappy like holiday themed movies?
Yes.
Mother's Day?
No, I'm sorry, not themed. I'm sorry, holiday themed. No, sorry. No, not holiday.
I don't know then.
We Are Your Friends.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even call that a major. Was that a major release?
It was released into 2,333 theaters nationwide. Once you hit 4 digits, that's pretty much a nationwide release. When you're in every city.
Oh,
That's a big thing. Like your superhero movies will do low 3,000s. Your normal movies will do about low 2,000s.
You know what I think that is though? I think it's bad marketing.
And it made 1.8 million, which was done for the lowest opener. Now, that has since been surpassed by Rock the Casbah, the Bill Murray, which only made 731, and it was surpassed by Jen and the Holograms, which only made 570,000.
I don't think Bill Murray cares.
Bill Murray doesn't care, but I bring this up because what's funny about all of these, other than Gem and the Holograms, We Are Your Friends and Rock the Casbah are not considered box office flops because We Are Your Friends only cost $2 million, and after everything was said and done, it made 10.
Major success.
Yeah, Rock the Casbah was done for a very little amount of money. It made more than enough to recoup its costs. So you'll notice a trend here when we talk about the biggest box office flops of all time.
Big production.
They're
big
all
production costs.
high. What do you think is the number one? Now, these are not adjusted for inflation, okay? This is just total loss. What do you think is the number one?
Not adjusted for inflation?
Not
Everything I was
adjusted.
looking at was for inflation.
You wanted to see this movie.
47 Ronin.
Yes. Yes.
That was number 2 on my list for inflation adjustments.
Okay. It lost an
see
estimated
it.
$150 million.
That's just. Did that come out after John Wick?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Right before.
You know what? If that had come out after John Wick, I think you get a totally different story. I think you get an entirely different picture. Because what had he done before John Wick?
47 Ronin.
Right, but I'm saying like before 47 Ronin, it was like, oh, yeah, if you had a year after you'd seen John Wick, if you said, oh, hey, remember how good he was in this? Remembering how physically gifted Keanu Reeves is as an actor? Mm-hmm. What if we put him into a fantasy samurai movie? Would you see it then? I'd be more inclined to see it as less of a joke and more of a, yeah, he did John Wick. That was awesome. That's unfortunate.
Number 2 on the list is an animated movie, Mars Needs Moms.
Mars Needs Moms.
That lost in close to 130 million. You shaking your head because you don't remember it coming out? Or?
I don't know that movie. Yeah.
It's like there's like a Martian and they need like all their moms are gone, so they take some from Earth, I think, or something like that. That's staggering how a animated movie costs that much money.
Right. Next, and this one is number 1 when adjusted for inflation. 13th Warrior.
With
I don't remember this movie at all.
Exactly.
1999.
It's with what's his name? Antonio Banderas.
Is it really?
Isn't it? I think so.
I don't know.
Remember when he used to do all kinds of stuff?
He was Zorro. Of course I remember.
Horrible
I saw the
action
Zorro
movies.
movies. I saw the Zorro movies. Oh, dude. Zorro, Desperado. Spy Kids, sure, but yeah.
he had a good run.
Do you remember that one weird, like, obscure one with him and Lucy Liu? Like...
you talking about X vs. Sever?
Yeah, but what was it? Ballistic or something?
Ballistic, X vs. Sever.
No
Top
sense.
Assassins. It was, I believe it was just... what's the one with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
Mr. and
It was
Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith without any of the sexuality, just like two people trying to kill each other.
But
yeah, Antonio Banderas, 1999 fantasy action.
Here's
Hold
the
on.
funny thing about that, though. They can never tell you how much it costs. They said it cost anywhere between $100 million to $160 million. No one knows how much this movie ended up costing.
Jesus.
A Muslim ambassador exiled from his homeland, Ahmad Abin Fadlan, finds himself in the company of Vikings. While their behavior initially offends him, the more cultured outsider grows to respect the tough, if uncouth warriors. Yep.
Good. All right.
It's him with a... Yeah, he looks good in this. It's pretty good, right? He's wearing... Yep, it's pretty good.
That looks like a 90s movie.
1999, yeah. Okay, the 4th one on the list, John Carter.
John Carter, Mars. Again, I still hear anybody that's seen that, which is few, says it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Now, here, though, is what we talk about playing into account of having to double your budget. It only cost $264. It actually made $284. But because you have to almost double your budget, they recoup these losses at about $122 million after advertising and everything else.
It only cost $264. That's outrageous amounts of money. Outrageous amounts of money.
Well, sometimes it's because one of your lead actors is getting about $60 million just to be in the darn thing and wear a headdress. Next on the list is Lone Ranger.
How's he doing?
Fine, he's going to be in Yoga Hosers at the end of the month.
Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
He's not doing so great right now, from what I've seen.
That. I liked that character. I mean, he's not doing great in his personal life, but...
That's just nuts. I mean, that budget is... The first Spider-Man, how much did the first Spider-Man cost?
$80 million?
Came out in 200... No, more than that, 139.
Okay.
But still, production costs are almost doubling since, what, 2002?
Oh, at least.
10 years, production costs are doubling for this genre. Even for not even this genre, just like action-adventure movies.
This entire list I have, only 2 movies are from the 90s. Everything else is after 2000.
What's another movie from the 90s?
The only other movie from the 90s is called Cutthroat Island.
Oh, whoa, there you go.
And that was 1995.
That's...
R.I.P.D. is on this list, though.
I liked R.I.P.D.
So did I. It was basically Men in Black with Ryan Reynolds and...
Jeff Bridges.
No, True Grit. But yes, also yes. And I like this next one too. Jack the Giant Slayer. I thought was a fine movie from Bryan Singer, and that lost close to $100 million as well.
That movie just didn't look good. I didn't go see that. That was awful.
Did you see it?
Not in theaters, but I've seen it. It's good. I remember when this one came out, and they sank so much money because Jamie Foxx was coming off an Academy Award. Stealth. Do you remember when Stealth came out?
Yeah,
how
it's a
much
plane. Jessica
Biel. Jamie Foxx, Josh
guy.
Lucas, I think it was, or whatever.
Is it? Yeah, they're pilots, and then they come out with a AI that goes rogue.
In the plane.
Yeah, it's just flying a jet. Jamie Foxx.
I forgot he was in that movie.
How much did that movie lose?
That movie lost $96 million. Had a production budget of $135. Not overly outrageous compared to some of the other stuff. Only grossed $77. This next one, though, is great. So this will be one of the last ones I mention. because it goes down as the movie that basically ended Eddie Murphy's career. The Adventures of Pluto Nash cost $100 million to make.
That's about right.
Box office gross, 7.1.
Wow. Wow.
Damn.
But yeah, the list goes on and on. You've got The Alamo, Pan, Green Lantern, Evan Almighty, Jupiter Ascending.
How much? What was the last one that you said before? Pluto Nash, the one that lost 96 million.
That was Stealth.
For Stealth's money lost, you could make Rush Hour 2.
Yeah.
And have $6 million to spare. I just looked at it because I thought it was interesting.
We're actually resurrecting a franchise that's on this list. Triple X State of the Union lost $78 million at the box office.
Well, what did Triple X State of the Union not have?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, who's
True.
apparently a douchebag.
I mean, yeah, this
Ask
list.
The Rock.
You know what? Based on that, I foresee the next Fast movie not making as much money as the last one.
Probably not.
I don't think it will. I think there hits a threshold.
One, because no one died during production.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, that is never not helped.
But there's a reason certain movies, Dark Knight, Furious 7, make the money that they make.
Sure, it's free publicity.
Yes.
Whether they intend to or not.
No, yeah.
But they almost never intend like anyone.
I mean,
ever
like
intend-
whether they intend to utilize that as publicity.
And I think that's the only thing that critics are good for now is spurring publicity. Like I mean, I guess that's what they've always been good for, but it's just you need some kind of trigger to make people start talking about it, so that no one cares about commercials anymore. What people care about are little 20-second video clips that people post on Facebook, or Instagram or things like. That's what people care about anymore. So that's what you need for budgeting. You can't just spam the TV. You can't spend $50 million a week before your movie comes out and be like, oh, look at this movie. Like, by that point, people have already made up their minds if they're going to see it or not, based on what exciting things have happened online.
And now for the smooth sounds of Three Wise Radio.
But from box office flops to, if you're British, what is the 100 greatest films from the 21st century? BBC put out a list this past week of the 100 greatest films since the year 2000, and they apparently couldn't figure out which one they wanted to be number 100 because 3 films tied.
Okay.
That's so stupid.
I think it was honorable mentions type deal, but we'll tie them all at 100.
Starting at number 100,
I don't recognize 2
all
of
the
them.
way down.
Yeah, I don't recognize 2 of them, but
No,
like
please
Requiem for a Dream was one of the ones that was tied for 100.
Ooh.
Really?
Okay. Yes and no. Yeah.
Wait, so this is since the year 2000?
Right.
Okay.
It was made in 2000. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because we're only dealing with less than 16 years worth of cinema.
Yeah. What did they think
Or
of Pluto
about
Nash?
16. It didn't make the list.
Damn it.
It didn't make the list. But to give you a little bit of an idea, a lot of these movies are from all over the globe,
Gross.
and they're
Jesus.
they're wide range. So, for example, number 96, Finding Nemo. 95, Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh, Moonrise
I would
Kingdom
put
is...
Moonrise Kingdom all up a lot higher on that.
Moonrise Kingdom is... Oh, you mean from all over the spectrum, not from all
Yes.
over the continent.
Yeah, sorry.
Or the world.
True.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say something good about Moonrise Kingdom. I didn't think you like Wes Anderson.
No, that's Wes Anderson. I hate Wes Anderson.
That's what I thought.
He sucks.
That's fine, man. Teach
We
their
get it.
own.
Everything's weird. There's a toaster, and I just feel like, I don't know. I don't like his movies.
That's fine.
Isn't that something like there's like a goofball guy, and there's a toaster in a room where there's not supposed to be one, and no one addresses it, and it's just,
He's just got a very unique aesthetic.
he's a prick.
Whatever.
I don't know how you jumped to that conclusion, but
I just don't. It's just, it feels like very pretentious to me.
90, The Pianist. 88, Spotlight. Her, number 84.
Her?
That was the help me out
was
here.
that?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Scarlett Johansson is the computer. Joaquin Phoenix is the dude who's a nerd.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
With
she's the
computer.
AI.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Neat.
Almost Famous, 79.
Okay.
Wolf of Wall Street, 78. Hurt Locker, 67. Inglourious Bastards, 62. And it keeps going on. Like Inception comes in at 51, 12 Years a Slave comes in at 44, Brokeback Mountain number 40. So the only superhero film on the entire list.
Dark Knight.
Yes, number 33.
Shocking. Where's Ant-Man?
Where's Avengers? Just as a movie and a phenomenon into itself.
So you watch Avengers again as a phenomenon, awesome. As just a movie, it's not the best
Really?
thing you've ever seen. Like, watch it again.
I mean,
It's a good movie, and it's one of the biggest marvels of, no pun intended, it's one of the biggest marvels of the last, I would say, even the last, of movies of all time. Like, it's one of the greatest feats. But watch it again, and it's like,
It's an okay movie.
okay. It's
I
okay.
would definitely put like Winter Soldier or Civil War above it.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Okay.
This is dope, though.
Yep. Social Network, number 27. Memento, 25. Grand Budapest Hotel, 21.
Ah, there he is.
Mad Max Fury Road, 19. Pan's Labyrinth, 17. I'm just going based on the ones you might know the most.
It's a good movie.
Children of Men, 13. Zodiac at 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's not one, like, I understand it's a true story, but one, it's not a great story since there's never really a, like, ending to it.
There's no.
Is
like,
this one
culmination.
man's opinion, or is this a collective opinion?
So it is a collective group of people at the BBC.
Okay.
Basically, they list it, and then kind of like how we've done before on the show,
Sure.
Rank them based on points and everything
Yeah.
else. So inside the top 10, most of these movies we don't know. So I'll just point out the ones we know, and then I'll do the top 5, no matter what.
Right on.
But No Country for Old Men at number 10.
That's a good movie.
I don't know if I would put it in top 10 though.
If I were a little cultured, I might, but I'm not.
I've actually never seen it and still have no desire to watch this movie.
It's good.
I'm sure
Tommy
it
Lee
is.
Jones knocks it out of the park. Javier
Bardem.
Bardem knocks it out of the park. He's creepy.
Yeah.
Way creepier in that than in
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
But you ever, like, just see a trailer for a movie that, like, does nothing for you?
I think if you watch that
That's
trailer, you're like Oscar bait.
Even then, like, every trailer or clip I've ever seen of that movie just looks boring to me.
It's a slow burner, but there are some pretty intense moments.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, number 6.
My professor in college, bless his heart, loved that movie. And I was always just like...
Another one
it's
I've
not a
never
movie.
seen.
It's alright.
Girls got colorful hair and...
I've seen
they're
2
laying in
movies
the
of these
snow.
top
I don't
10s.
get it.
I've only seen 2 of them.
You're not cultured.
I'm not. No, not at all.
Seen all the James Bond movies, though.
Yes, I have. And sadly, one of these
Is James
movies-
Bond on the list?
James Bond is not on the list.
Not anywhere. You
No.
can't even give Goldfinger like a 99
Well, it
nod.
wasn't made after 2000.
Damn it.
You're right.
You could have argued
you know what, I would have
Skyfall
given I
or
would have
Casino
given
Royale.
Casino Royale a nod. I mean, what did you? I'm trying to remember some of those early ones, but I won't make you backtrack. But I think there were some on there that you could put.
Okay. What was after Eternal Sunshine?
This is one of the few I've actually seen. Boyhood at 5.
Never saw that. Impressive feat
Yes.
on like an Avengers kind of level. Like
Right.
this is something new.
That was actually one of the only reasons I wanted to actually watch the film is because I remember, even when I was young, them talking about this movie being made.
That was the one that they like filmed this
Over 10-year
yeah.
period, or 8-year period, something like
I
that.
didn't see it.
It was
Kid grows
Oscar
up.
bait. It was okay.
Did it win it? Did it win anything?
Yeah, What's Her Face got Best Supporting Actress. Then she went to CSI Cyber.
Oh God, I hate her. It's probably just because that show's so bad. She was also in Medium, right?
Yeah. Arquette. Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette. Yeah. God, that's a horrible show.
Wow.
Horrible.
What was after that?
Number 4, it's from Japan called Spirited Away.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's a Miyazaki film.
Yeah.
It sounds really familiar. I'm gonna Google it.
Teach
while you
us,
continue.
wise one.
I don't know. Miyazaki's got a really interesting aesthetic of like capturing the imagination and like kind of like delving into like what could be happening on the other side of the veil in terms of like spirits.
So is it like a horror movie or
No. It's
Okay.
not. It's not a horror movie, but it does have some like creepy aspects and stuff. I don't know. It kind of goes back to when we were talking about
Interesting premise.
the.
I want to read.
Yeah, I'll let him go ahead and read the premise, just because like that probably wrap it up better. Than I could.
10-year-old Chihiro and her parents stumble upon a seemingly abandoned amusement park after her mother and father are turned into giant pigs. Chihiro meets the mysterious Haku, who explains that the park is a resort for supernatural beings who need a break from their time spent in the earthly realm, and that she must work there for free in order to free herself and her parents.
It's
Sounds like a kind of a creepy premise a little bit.
It's kind of a creepy premise, but like Miyazaki's got just a very distinct and unique art style, and I think a lot of that is kind of he does a very good job of like conveying themes across with that.
Yeah, it feels like it looks like it's almost just like a surreal, supernatural-ish kind of.
We've actually got I definitely would put it in the top 10. Maybe not. You said 4.
Keep in mind, guys, this is only from the last 16 years.
I know.
So when you think like best movies of all time, usually probably something prior to that slips in your head, and you're like, nah, okay, wait, maybe. So number 3, There Will Be Blood. Not the best movie.
Cool.
Again, I would put it in top 10, just not that high.
See that one? Like I actually enjoy Gangs of New York. I don't enjoy There Will Be Blood.
Gangs of New York is way better than that movie.
No.
I
wouldn't.
He's the same character, so it doesn't matter.
He is.
He's got a big hat.
There's never okay.
And is he a good guy?
The argument that I have for Daniel Day-Lewis may be wrong, but in this one instance, it is emphatically true.
He's the same character in every movie that he plays.
No, in There Will Be Blood and Gangs of New York, there is.
With bigger hats.
Yeah.
Than he normally would
Didn't
wear.
Zach like yell at you about
He
this?
did. Oh, so bad to the point where I couldn't even finish my theory.
A lot of our actor friends are big time Daniel Day-Lewis fans because he decides to do a movie every 4 years, which I guess is impressive.
Because he needs to
Recover.
immerse himself. It's such a
And to me, and more so Joe, he kind of seems to play a very similar character in most of his movies.
No, I'll give you that.
Number 2, In the Mood for Love.
Yes.
Which
Always. Is that the name of the movie?
It's the name of the movie.
I thought you were building something. Like, In the Mood for Love? Hitch, starring Will Smith.
No, it's a movie from 2000. So
Hitch is a good movie.
Yeah.
Is it not? I've said it when it came out, and I'll say it again. If there is if you're in a relationship with a female or a male, whatever, do what you do, and they want to watch a romantic comedy, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna get by? You go to Hitch. Because that you're gonna laugh more in that than most romantic comedies. It's the man's romantic comedy.
yeah,
I might like Hitch a little too much.
you do.
But who's in it, Joe?
Will Smith,
And
Kevin, dude from
who's
King
the
Queens.
lady in it?
Oh, Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes.
That's, yes.
She's so talented.
Kevin James. I couldn't think of that, but yes, Eva Mendes, of course.
Good movie.
But if in case you're wondering about In the Mood, it is the second in a trilogy of Hong Kong films.
Okay.
So, but apparently this one was the best one of the bunch.
What was it? Sorry, I'm still in Hitch.
In the Mood for Love.
In the Mood for Love. Okay.
Number 1
Hitch.
is an American film directed by David Lynch.
Oh.
Mulholland Drive. Have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
It rings a bell.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen. There's nothing triggering right now. What is that?
It's kind of do you remember when L.A. Confidential and they tried to go for a noir-y feel almost in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mystery crime.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It stars Justin Theroux, Naomi Watts. I never saw this film, but I remember it being advertised when it came out.
Oh, this has got noir flashbacks written all over it. A dark-haired woman is left amnesiac after a car crash. She wanders the streets of Los Angeles in a daze before taking refuge in an apartment. There she is discovered by Betty, a wholesome Midwestern blonde who's come to the City of Angels seeking fame as an actress. Together they attempt to solve the mystery of Rita's true identity. The story is set in a dreamlike L.A., spoilt neither by traffic jams nor smog. Oh, it's Naomi Watts.
I said that.
Sorry, I was trying to look it up. Yeah, that's got noir-y written all over it. And Billy Ray Cyrus is in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty big deal.
Not really. But what's funny about this movie is that it was originally supposed to be a TV pilot. And they kind of changed it from a TV show into a movie. And when you hear stuff like that, and I didn't know all that, that makes a little bit more sense. Because those are a little bit more plot threads that you could flush out over a couple of years, doing a little bit here and there.
Greatest movie of the last
So
16
let's
years.
change that. What is your greatest movie of the last 16 years?
When did Hitch come out?
2005, so yes.
Oh, I don't know. It's too hard. It's hard for me.
That's something I wouldn't be able to just pull up on the fly.
Well, one thing that I'm surprised, like Gladiator's not on here, and I would consider
Best picture
that one
in
of
2000.
Yeah, but I'd consider that one of the best pictures.
Well, would
of
you
the list.
consider it? Because technically it came out in 99, right?
No, it came out in 2000.
Did it? In order
Yeah.
to win for the 2000 Academy Awards. when did
I'm
it come
fairly
out?
certain Gladiator came out in 2000.
I would go with then. I would just go with what I usually give
Gladiator came
people
out
as one of
2000.
my favorite movies of all time, Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah,
2004. It's top, it'll always be top 5 and bounces around between number 1. So that's
Garret?
what I would say.
Man, I don't know.
So right now it's Spirited Away. Because you said it's in your top 5. So what's better than Spirited Away? Mars Needs Moms.
No. Hell no.
You can like a box office flop.
Oh, jeez, man.
What's yours, Joe?
Oh, the tables have turned.
no, I mean that's why one of the reasons I did say Gladiator, because when people ask my 2 favorite films, it's Dogma and Gladiator, but Dogma came out in '99, so I can't say that. So I mean, I would go with Gladiator. Like that was a great film.
Oh, yeah, it was. Kidding me? Marcus Aurelius. He's the father to a murdered son.
He is.
Husband to a murdered wife. And he will have his vengeance.
He is. I mean, and also like this would never make a list, but Batman Begins. Like just going to the comic book format up until I saw Deadpool, and even then I'm still kind of 50-50 on it.
Damn it.
It's one of the best, like, just immerse yourself into a comic book.
Yeah.
Like, just you are in Batman year one. You're there.
Yeah.
And it has still done things where, God bless Batfleck's heart, like we'll never see him do either.
Like what?
The whole hotel
Gladiator
scene.
came out May 5th, 2000. Okay.
I would know.
No, you're still rolling. You're still rolling.
But like you'll never see that hotel scene again. You'll never see. You might see like Ben Affleck be a little swanky and everything, but you'll never see that scene where he like it comes face to face with like Katie Holmes outside, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a jerk right now because I kind of have to be. Like, this isn't who I am, and maybe it's because like that's the first time I've ever seen that in a live action version of Batman. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those things, like that entire scene of him just being swanky and being like, I'm changing the pool rules of this area.
Well, sir, you can't do that. I just bought the building.
Yeah. Like, what do you think of Batman, Bruce? That guy, he's a nut. Like, you never saw that. And like that now I think it might be too corny to have Ben Affleck do that. But to me, like, that is one of the most impressive scenes of that entire movie because it's like, it's swanky Bruce Wayne being like...
It's swanky Bruce Wayne. I think Batfleck is now at the point where he's just asshole Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to hang out with this guy. He's a billionaire, but no one wants to hang out with him. He's so mean.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. To me, like, that and plus seeing him become Batman, like, I know the origin story people hate now, but that was another thing that you'd never really seen.
Watching him murder all those people?
Yes. Like, seeing him actually travel the
been done.
world, train, you know, what
a great
put him
movie.
on the path. Like, to me, like, I don't know. If I had to pick a comic book movie, that would be the best one in the last 16 years.
Not Spider-Man 3.
Not Spider-Man 3. No, not
The
Spider-Man
Mummy
3.
came out in 1999.
It did. But The
Otherwise,
Mummy
I would've said The
Returns.
Mummy. No. It's better than Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, but if Mummy had come out after the year 2000, I would have given it a nod.
Oh, no. It came out in 99. Speaking of 2000, Dracula 2000.
See, 1999 was it.
It was a
The
great
it
year for movies, man.
Was it?
That could be a whole nother segment in itself someday.
What, best movies of 1999?
Yeah.
I think we already kind of did that with like action movies. Didn't we?
No, that was all over. That was from like the 60s on.
I'm just looking up. The Blair Witch Project came out in 99.
Okay, no, let's save this. This is
a good, yep.
it's a segment to itself, dude. 99 killed it.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so you
Actually, I bet if you did this for any year, it would kill it, because it's just automatically going to list your top 10.
I don't think so. I don't think I would ever be as giddy about that as I would 99.
All right. Yeah.
All right, maybe next week we'll visit that.
We could do a battle of the 90s.
Battle of the 90s?
Yeah.
And just do
Which
each.
year had the best?
Maybe we should do that next week.
We've got some stuff planned for next week.
You're right, we do. But look forward to that coming up. Yeah.
And he throws a right hook, and it's Three Wise Radio for the TKO.
As usual, we end every episode with what's piquing our interest, where we just say what's piquing our interest. Garrett, what is piquing your interest this week?
Zombieland 2 is in production. Like, they're actually, like, working on it now.
Like they're actually filming
Pre-production
right
or
now?
production?
Zombieland 2.
Do.
Sorry, I was just looking at this. I don't know where it went.
I'm gonna guess pre-production because they don't even have cast, right?
Okay, well, I was looking that up, Sam. What is piquing your interest?
Okay. Realistically, I'm interested that the current rumors are that Captain Cold and Golden Glider will be the Flash villains. I think that's
In the movie?
Yeah.
You want that?
yeah.
Even though you're a Wentworth?
Yeah. I mean, I'm also
Grant Gustin.
Grant Gustin fan too, but I think you get the not supernatural, but you get that ethereal element from Glider that makes her a threat to Flash, and then you also like Captain Cold. As much as I love Grodd, and if you don't do another speedster, Captain Cold is the nemesis.
He's the next go-to one.
So I think that's what you do. The other one that I thought was a little more silly, Melissa Benoit, however you say her name, her first poster for season 2 of Smallville is out, and it's just says the CW has a new hero. It's a good poster. The only thing I don't like about it is
You're wrong, because if Smallville came back on air,
oh,
Sam,
sorry, Supergirl.
I would be
Supergirl.
so happy.
The only thing is I don't like her face because it looks like she's 2 seconds from doing like Blue Steel.
She does.
Like she's right there. So that just kind of throws it off for me.
I'm intrigued to see it. Like, I'll watch the first 2 episodes.
I won't.
Speaking of which, we were wrong. Did you see one of the news stories? Martian Manhunter's getting an extended storyline, and they're introducing Miss Martian this year as well.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, they don't have to pay Callista Flockhart anymore, so they got all that extra money.
Huge mistake, I think. I would say she's more compelling than Martian Manhunter.
For a guy who doesn't like this show, it's funny.
I have a lot of opinions.
Not only do you have a lot of opinions, it's funny that your favorite character is probably like the big, powerful female character.
Because she seems very aware of everything that's happening. And that's important.
You're not wrong.
Really am.
All right, what's piquing my interest? Oh, did you find the information?
Yeah, they're just working on the script now, like officially.
Gotcha.
But they're in talks with the original cast to return.
Do you want to see a Zombieland 2?
I would love to see a Zombieland 2.
It was one of those films that I loved. I just the sequel's going to have to be a good story.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't like leave it open for a sequel. So it would have to be a good story to get me on board with it.
Yeah.
What's piquing my interest this week is 2 of my favorite summer shows have now been pushed back to early fall, which I have no idea if that's a good indication or not. But *Halt and Catch Fire* finally season 3 debuted last week on AMC, so I need to catch up with that after we move. And then also *You're the Worst* premieres this week as well, which if you have not seen this show on FX,
Highly recommended.
it is one of the funniest shows on television because if you're in your 20s and dating, it hits the nail on the head.
What if you're in your 20s but not dating?
If you're in your 20s, if you are anywhere who like our group of friends, it deals with annoying improv people, it deals with hipsters, it deals with people who love to brunch, it deals with
White people.
Yeah.
You're summing it up there.
Yeah, I know. Like you're annoying white people and just
I know tons of those.
I know, and it just basically mocks the hell out of them. It's
Okay.
It's a great show.
What's it called?
You're the Worst.
All right. That sounds appropriate.
Side note, another article I just saw. Apparently, the Wrap reports that Deathstroke announcement was for the solo film.
That's so early and makes no sense.
Might just be test footage he showed.
They might just be kind of get it all done.
Maybe
at
it
once.
was maybe that rumor is true. Remember there was the rumor a long time ago that for Batman vs Superman that this wasn't Bruce Wayne but Slade Wilson.
You're right.
Then they'd excuse all the killings and everything would just be it's all under the table.
No, that would I'd be done, man.
I'd tap out.
Yeah. All right, and then last thing we'll mention before we end the show this week. Gene Wilder, sadly, we learned before we started the podcast, that passed away this week. 83. Today, basically, yes. So.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Again, not tragic.
No, but
bummer.
it's a bummer. I mean, he hadn't done anything in years, and he looked
Not even that he
bad.
had done anything, but he was old. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But it is a bummer.
So
I'm just afraid of going on Facebook now.
I mean, I don't.
Again, I'm angling this to.
Do you want to do your whole spiel again?
No.
No. I mean, we've got time.
I think I just summed it up. It's not tragic if an old person dies. That's it. It's sad. It's sad, but it's not tragic. If a young person who just got a promotion and is on the top of the world gets hit by a bus and dies, that is tragic. If an old person who has lived a long, healthy, happy life passes away, as everyone does, that is not tragic.
All right, I'm going to ask the hard-hitting question then. Where's that number?
The old age number?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it's not a matter of age. It's a matter of manner of death.
Okay.
Like, if an old person died in a bus accident, that'd be tragic. But
Yeah,
it's
I
just
guess
like,
that's fair
if
too.
someone's
Okay.
dying,
Okay.
if someone's dying of natural causes, it's like, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
If Gene Wilder was running a 10K and got hit by a bus, that would be tragic.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if Gene Wilder passed away quietly in his sleep because of Alzheimer's or what have you, that's not tragic. So it's a mix of age and what actually cause of death.
Fair enough.
We'll put the number at 80.
80?
Anything past 90 is just, it is what it is.
Well, if you think the number 90 is tragic, you can tell us, and there's many different ways you can do so. You can email us at threewiseradio@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at threewiseradio #hashtag threewiseradio. You can find us on Instagram at threewiseradio, or you can look us up on Facebook at threewise media. Our sister podcast is Movie Versus, which comes out every Thursday as well, so make sure to check them out also. That's going to do it for this week. We'll see you next week when we're in a brand new studio.
Woo! So hot.
Not that you can really see it anyway.
Maybe.
they might be able to.
Three Wise Radio is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.